Alrighty, folks. How much money does it actually take to get started with real estate investing? Can you really get started with no money down? Does it take 10, 20? Does it take 100 grand? What does it take? Let's have this conversation with the one and only Casey from Brick by Brick. Well, Casey, what do you think? How much money does it take to get started?
I mean, yes, you sure can find properties with no money down. You can find seller financing deals. You can do stuff too. You can do all those things. But okay, so you can do that, and you can do all those with $10,000 properties and $1 million properties. Okay, but in my opinion, you shouldn't be only searching for those. If you are looking for a true rental property and you want to buy it, and you're going with any sort of financing route where you need money down, what is a sufficient money down, including all closing costs, holding costs, rehab, and all that, to buy a property that's not in the ghetto? Now,
Mhm.
some people love the D class neighborhoods and they say, Casey, I can find a property for $40,000. I'm going to buy that on my credit card. And I say, you go do that. And then you go put $40,000 into fixing it up, and you go do that again in 3 more years because it's going to be trashed again.
Mhm.
So I don't teach cheap properties personally. I'm not for that. I don't believe in that. I think that real estate investing is a long-term investment, and you want to find a neighborhood in an area and someone that's going to keep your property nice. So, what is the minimum investment for a property that you have a good chance of getting a semi decent tenant to take care of your property? That's really like the minimum, not crappy property, semi decent property with a decent tenant that can hold down a job and will tell you when things go wrong. How much you need for that? Okay. My advice is you need $30,000 to $50,000. And
Okay.
that's because if you were to buy a $100,000 property, okay, which I think
Mhm.
is pretty fair. I have students that are buying, I had one that just closed on an $82,000 property, I think, very recently in the past couple of weeks. But I can't promise that. I can't say that you're going to find that all the time. So I think a good bet would be the cheapest thing that you can get that's decent is about $100,000.
Okay.
And that's if you're looking for something that's pretty much ready to go, that needs minimal work. Okay, because I specialize in helping out of state new investors, and I've talked about this many times. I don't advise the burn method and doing full gut jobs if you're brand new and you've never done that before.
Mhm.
So $30,000 will get you a $100,000 property. That's 25% down, 4% in closing costs, and a little extra 1% for something, to
Mm.
fix, because there's always going to be something to fix. So that's 30K minimum and up to 50,000, and really no more than 50,000 for something that's mostly ready to go.
Yeah.
And that is because it's got to be under $200,000 or it's not going to cash flow. So
Yeah.
right now, I think you're going to be buying something with today's rates, really no more than 185. If you're doing 25% down, you can go a little higher than that, in my opinion, if you put more money down, or if you want to buy something that needs some work and keep the money in the property and not cash out refinance. Because if you cash out refi over and it's over 200 now, it's not going to cash flow.
Yeah.
So
Uh, I love that. I think those are the right numbers. I would be remiss if I didn't add a little color. The other thing, a lot of folks, and I've admitted this is something I wish I did, when I was 20, was you could house hack. House
oh
hacking
yeah,
is important because it might let you get into a property for lower down, right? And again, you've got to run the numbers. The whole goal of house hacking, whether it be a house and you have roommates like Spencer Cornelia or Todd Baldwin, or you house hack units like Anna Kelly, um, the lumberjack, or Dion, is you're going to live for less. And I think it is in today's environment, it's probably the right answer for a lot of people. And again, you can get in for 3.5% down, 5% down, something of that nature. But the whole goal is make sure you run the numbers and your housing cost is 50% or less than it would have been if you lived by yourself. Because it's very unlikely you're going to have positive cash flow unless you buy a fourplex. But you could just buy a duplex, or you could buy a house and do the bedrooms. There's there's I am really happy to see that more and more people are talking about house hacking because it's a way to get on the property ladder. You can also do a 203K loan, and I mean, there's just so many ways you could get in today, and it's something. I mean, I didn't hear about until the last 5 years, so shame on
yeah,
me for
yeah.
not
It's a
finding it
new
sooner.
term.
Yeah.
Is a new term. And I think house hacking is great. It's a completely own beast than investing out of state. Because out of state means, you can't
Yep.
house hack because house hacking means you have to live there.
Right.
But, 100%, like if you can house hack, and for me, there's two kind of different boats for house hacking. There's house hacking with the intent of moving out quickly
Hmm.
and having that be a cash flowing rental. Maybe it's for people that don't have a lot of money down to buy the whole thing as a rental straight up, but you have
Hmm.
enough to get in with a 3 to 5% down, and you
Sure.
can have some of your expenses paid for a year or two while you save for a down payment for something else, and then it cash flows when you move out.
Hmm.
Or the other boat is buying a property in a high appreciating area, right?
Mm.
Which is got great pros. And house hacking, like in Colorado, a lot of people are renting out their basements or renting out by the room in more expensive areas. And you're able to help really lower a lot of your expenses, right? Because you're paying for a big majority of your mortgage, but you're in a high appreciating area. And so you can cash out refinance, you can get a HELOC later, if you plan on staying there for a long time, and you can gain some really good equity in your home in those high appreciating areas that you probably can't really get with a property that's going to, you're going to move right out of and do it again and again. Those lower price areas aren't going to have the appreciation that you're going to find in the high appreciating areas. So two kind of boats with house hacking, and a lot of people that want to house hack in on the coastal areas that are really expensive. It's a great idea. Yes, you will have to live with somebody else, and there's not a lot of duplexes in a lot of these areas. These high appreciating areas are mostly single family. So house hacking might not work out. And if you were trying to house hack, you'd have a lot of money still for a 3 to 5% down because those properties still cost a lot. And then you're like, maybe I should just go invest straight up out of state instead. But there's two kind of boats for that, and I think both of them are great ideas.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm really happy that, again, we both understand that zero down is possible, seller financing, all those things are possible. It's just not, it's not what I want to lead with, right? I want to lead
Yeah.
with, hey, you know what? You got to live below your means. You got to stack some dry powder. Um, and just, it take, 25% down. It's 25% down no matter which way you slice it. So Casey, where can people find you? Because you're putting out a lot of amazing stuff.
Thank you, Michael. You guys can find me every single day on Instagram at Brick by Brick Wealth, as well as YouTube at Brick by Brick Wealth, and anywhere else there is social media.
There you go. Thank you, Casey. Take care.